that damn podcast where they do times talk about them PlayStation games and stuff, as last week is evidenced, where we talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't PlayStation games, and we had a good time, and people seemed to be okay with it. So, we may do that again this week because there's really nothing happening, as usual, in this horrible, horrible summertime of gaming, where the only things of note are usually people being racists or homophobes or sexist, or, it's that, that sort of thing.
But enough about American politics.
Hey, yes, it all ties in nicely. I am your host, Noel, as usual. I am joined, as ever, by Ben Shillabeer-Hall.
I am here.
By the skinnier teeth. You're here this week. You were one drowsy man for a bit.
Yeah, I am.
Have you recovered?
A little bit. A little bit.
Did the fajitas help?
It helped a bit, yeah.
Chicken fajitas.
Yes.
6,000 of them.
Sausage McBiscuit.
Did you say vaginas?
No, fajitas. It's
Fajitas.
badly mispronounced Spanish.
Fajitas.
I like my version better.
Well, yes, I'm sure you do. Coming from a place of vlogging, it makes sense that it would be.
God damn it.
Oh, that was savage. Well done.
Damn.
I am also joined by Chris DeVisser.
Hello.
All right, see, threw you off with the running order there, but you're there. Garri Bagdasarov, as you have just heard.
Yeah.
Sorry, Garri. I would stroke you right now, just to comfort you.
Oh my god.
The one that he likes best.
I'd spank you.
Okay, none of that.
Come on, man. You don't know what you're missing.
Chris is not good at it.
Oh, never mind then.
And, of course, those dulcet tones you heard there were none other than the man in the noonday sun. It's Tim.
Oh my god.
Much better.
Thank you. I promise I'm going to go strong with these next few weeks. I promise that much. So,
I like that one a great deal.
Good stuff. So we're here to talk about the video game things. But as I pointed out, there isn't much of them. We're getting a bit of feedback there. Anyway, what were we talking about? Video games. That's right. Feedback and video games. And we could be getting an actual weird feedback loop of saying the same thing over and over again. What's happening?
It's a white hole.
Well, I've heard it called many things, Ben, but that's a new one. That's definitely a new one.
All you need is a little bleach.
God damn it.
Unless you're an albino.
Then you don't need as much bleach.
Can you confirm this? I just spent some time on Reddit. Those are the kind of stupid questions they'd ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare go that far as to go on Reddit to find something out, as much as it would be helpful. Yeah. So no, I have no. This is pure speculation on my part, of course. But cuffs and collars and curtains, etc. So you would assume that was the case. I think the biggest news this week I found out was that Sony's own Shuhei Yoshida enjoys a cheeky Nando's. He really does, which is, of course, the chicken-based restaurant that, yes, commented on the story, originated in another country, but it is very much a cultural touchstone.
It's damn British now.
Yeah, it's English. You don't go saying, a pizza, it comes from Italy. How can it be a cultural touchstone anywhere else? Because gets fucking eaten everywhere. Right.
It's the same thing with curry in Japan. It didn't start in Japan.
Exactly. We like
but
curry.
It's big in Japan.
Yeah.
It actually started in England, didn't it?
A lot of curries are in England, actually. From England, actually.
That might have something to do with a very checkered past on our country's part. But yes, it probably did start in England as a result of enslaving certain other countries. But
What? Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, so, of course, putting my journalistic head on, which, I don't bother with actual stories, I went and made sure that I found out exactly what his favourite dish was, and I got a reply. So, maybe I should try this more often, actually talking to the people who make games and throw games out there. He likes the chicken legs with extra hot sauce, if anyone wants to know. So, the next time you get
a good choice.
Yeah.
So being completely ignorant to this franchise, is it a franchise-made hot sauce, or is it like a hot sauce you can get anywhere?
Yes, a franchise-made hot sauce, but they sell it in bottles as well.
Yeah, you can buy them outside of their restaurants as well.
It's made
for
that restaurant.
Well, basically,
could it also be purchased outside your country?
I think so.
There's Nando's in America.
Because Nando's is German, I believe, or something.
So what you're saying is, for the people who plan to kidnap Shuei and force him to remake some random-ass Sony classic game, they know what to feed him.
Yeah, I'm going to invite him down and say, we got Nando's on, not by a roundabout here. You can
go.
Confirm Neil is going to kidnap Shihei.
That's it. And now you know.
Yeah, Gary's the one that suggests it, and you think that Neil is the one that's going to do it.
And what game are you going to force him to remake, Neil?
Shadow of the Colossus again. Yeah.
I guess.
Because YOLO.
I'm going to make him remake Fantasia.
Make him do Ico.
I would ask for Ico. Yeah, but it's too easy, too obvious. I won't
Shut
say
up.
that.
Just do it.
I just want to.
Okay,
I wanted to make.
That's raper talk right there. Man.
I'll hold you hostage while you hold him hostage, so I get the game I want.
That's it. Just say do a bundle deal. That's it.
2 for 1.
Why not buy like the whole
pre-ordering.
chicken?
I want a special version of Shadow of the Colossus in which Rick Astley is the lead, and he has to warble "Never Gonna Give You Up" into the monster's ears until they die, because that would be a far crueler game in that regard. Far crueler.
Wow.
So yeah.
Can I buy some
Rick
block
rolls
from
is
you?
a blessing.
There's a lot of noises there, but I didn't hear a voice.
Being rickrolled is a blessing. I don't know what everyone's talking about. Like that would be like that'd be like a religious send-off at that point.
Not for gentle giant beasts. I think it'd be rather cruel. They would definitely not be happy about that. I don't think.
Potato, tomato.
Dying, so
Anyway, at least this way, we learned that if you want to go to a Nando's and you want a particular dish, you can say, "I'll have the Shuhei special." And that's it, and that'll be chicken legs with extra hot sauce.
And nobody there will know what the hell you're asking for. Be like, dude.
Hey, it's part of their secret menu. Every restaurant has a secret menu.
I'm going to sit there and demand it, and if they don't give me what I want, that's it.
You're going to go on Reddit and get them fired?
Yeah.
Let's start a mob movement and get them fired.
Yeah, this is it. Can you imagine that? President of Worldwide Studios fired for causing an outrage in a local Nando's. he wasn't at. Oh boy. Yeah, so, see, there you go. That got us through at least 10 minutes, didn't you? So, and other stuff happened, I'm sure. Where they are, unfortunately, due to the way that running a website goes these days, you have to scroll through a lot of search terms before you find actual news.
SEO.
Yeah, that SEO hits. It's a sad thing. The best thing. This is the thing I really want to talk about. That Nathan Drake doesn't actually take bullet damage in the Uncharted games. That was my favourite story. The week Jonathan Cooper, who worked on the game, told the factoid. He learned that Drake doesn't ever take bullet damage. The red UI that shows hits is to represent his luck running out. Eventually, enemies will get a clear shot and kill him if he takes enough near misses. There you go. So he doesn't actually get shot. He just misses.
I never knew people miss point blank with a shotgun.
So is that how they...
launcher.
Have you never played XCOM?
Is that how they got the teen rating? It's luck and gore, not blood and gore, so it's fine.
Yeah, he must have the rabbit's foot from Supernatural.
So that's what happened to that Oscar from Metal Gear Solid 2 after it ended.
That's what I thought. Yeah, it's like it's Fortune all over again.
Yeah.
It's like you just said,
Somebody
but
took it away from the end.
but why?
They couldn't just make it a video game. They had to explain the video game.
Oh, when it's one of those things that you would naturally think it was one way, but when you hear it explained like that, you go, "Oh, okay." Like,
So then technically that's every game
Yeah.
that you're getting shot at.
Actually, you know what I've come to realize after watching the Ajin anime? Every video game character is just an Ajin now to me, and I'm either horribly maiming them over and over and over again, or that I mean, that's just, at this point, I have to accept that as canon for every series now. Otherwise, how would the hero continuously heal and recover and die and reload a save? That's what you are. You're a fucking Ajin. So that's just
if
how
you're
I
playing
have to look.
Wolfenstein 2, you survive in a lot worse ways.
So BJ Blazkowicz is an Ajin. There you go. See, we're all learning something today.
He's a lot of things.
And the more you know.
Oh boy. What else did we have this week? So, like I said, going for all this, Dead Island 2 might still be happening. Yeah, I would hazard a guess that PS5 will be out before that happens, at least.
But then I can't claim I've played a game that nobody else has played.
I don't know, I played Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai. I want to buy that game.
Wait, you have a hard job? Because it's gone.
I know. Hard copies exist of it, don't they?
I don't think it came out hard copy because it was episodic. That was the first episode. Never saw the other one.
You have the rarest game in existence now.
So I have the 100% for that game, would you believe? Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, it's not. It's shit, let's be honest, but still.
I'm jealous.
Just
stream it.
I remember when I reviewed, Sly Cooper, and then it was, this is a bit buggy, and then the game got delayed 6 months, and it was like, yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Oh, I know a piece of news we could talk about. It's actually kind of funny. It goes on to a conversation regarding bad reviews. I brought this up last night with Chris and Gary, but it was a thing I found in regards to Aliens Colonial Marines.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Such a fucking awful game.
Yeah, and all things considered, I don't think this Discovery will have made it any better.
Some people are saying it wouldn't have saved it, but it would have made it they would have definitely made the scores higher. Really interesting. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, they basically like a 5. I think I made a 5 out of 10 as opposed to a 3.5 on my end.
Game is a 1. It's a fucking 1 to me.
All I know is I found that
it exists only because of the sound design.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Gary on that. Oh, maybe an extra point for the fact that its co-op is so hilariously awfully good that it works.
Nice.
But yeah, it's still shit. Let's be honest. It's very, 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 very shit.
It's so stupid. Like it's just someone misspelled tether.
Yeah, that's all it takes. It's mad, but I think, like I said, that team were pushed to rush that thing out at the end because it had all been fucked up beyond that. And then,
which team exactly are we talking about? Gearbox or the team that they gave it to and then took all their money?
Yeah, that last team they gave it to. Basically, they were folded like not long after that game went out as well, so they didn't have a chance to fix it or anything. So it's like, and you think about, in fairness, it has taken this long for someone to find that out. So it's not like
playing that game.
I think it's just one of those things where somebody had to find out why this game was that bad, and they discovered why. Like, they just couldn't believe that this game was that bad. And now they know why.
That's it.
Well, a part of it, at least.
Why? Well, I don't know why.
In the programming code, somebody misspelled a word, and it completely made the AI in that game some of the worst AI you'll probably ever see.
Wow.
It's essentially what it is. And they fixed that bug, or that coding on the PC version, obviously, and it's made the AI like infinitely better now.
Will not change the level design being an absolute dog piss, though. That's for sure. That's for sure.
That game, god damn it! I never thought one game will make me despise a company to the point where I will refuse to touch anything they ever do.
Metal Gear Solid 5?
Tim, you've been playing PES all week.
I mean, yeah, shut your face.
I'm talking about Garri, though. This is Garri's standard.
Yeah.
No, also by Konami games. If they re-release a remastered of Words of Shadow 1 and 2, I'll buy the shit out of that. I don't care.
I would ask them first if they know whether the original code is before you.
No.
It's like, well,
Don't have to ask Kojima for that.
Well, just going back to the Silent Hill 2, where they just didn't have all the code for the remaster, so they were like, we'll just patch it together with whatever we got, and yeah, that's why it was a poor port.
It's like Sonic. They lost all the Sonic's physics after the Mega Drive era because the guy who made Sonic left and he took it with him.
But that's fine because Christian Whitehead came and reinstated it all.
Yeah, it only took
look how long it took that.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
And there had to be a fan. It wasn't even. Oh man, that whole thing. That's just brilliant.
But what a fan that made the best Sonic game for a long time.
30.
So yeah, Sonic Mania is that Sonic game that is the best one in a long time. And yes, as Gary pointed out, it's done by a fan mostly, which is nice to see. Sega learned a lesson there. Well, they didn't. Sonic Forces came out just after that, so which was fine, but it was still very much modern Sonic, and all the hilariously awful things about it there still. Where were we? There's other stuff, I'm sure. God, just such a bad day for news, week for news, apart from these little nuggets. So, might as well move on to what we've been playing, really, I suppose. Why not? Let's do that. Who wasn't on last week that would like to go? Tim.
Shit,
man. You've been caught.
No. Boing.
Terrible. I know it's a sport, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Authenticity is key.
It is.
Wow.
So yes, Tim, what have you been playing?
Actually, a little bit of kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because I've been, I don't know, I feel like in the last, year and a half, I've been sinking into this existential boredom. So I found myself more and more doing just random shit with the occasional inspiration bringing me onto the cesspool. And I've recently, been playing a little bit of, Destiny, which is probably part of the reason why I'm in the cesspool to begin with. But I've done a little bit of, oh my god, what is it? I played a lot of Wolfenstein. And that's been going for a while. But the most intriguing addition to my gaming repertoire has been PES. And a certain somebody gave me a certain discounted code for buying it on the certain UK site.
How could I not? It was, like £5.80, I think it was. So it was like,
yeah, it was a steal. And...
man, it's a game thing, when you get to this part of the year and they're like, yeah, well, we're getting the next one out, so sell that one as quick as you can. Yeah, sorry, go on.
But it's been mostly because of my recent fall in with football or soccer, depending on who's listening. And it's a sport that I've wanted to get into for years. I've always had kind of an intrigue to it, but it's one that's always been, like with all sports in general, it's a learning curve, and it's basically a wall you have to find a way to surmount. And I've never had, a friend or a group of people to help me get through it or get over it, like the icebreakers, something like that. Or even I've never even had like a local pub or bar to go to where people aren't being hicks. But That's just the geography.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally have a few people. I have a guy at work actually that helped me get into the sport, and then Neil has answered a few of my questions, and I've been asking at awful times, and I feel bad about that still. It was at the end of the England game when I was asking him questions because a bunch of shit was happening in the game, and I was curious, and not the time to ask questions, everybody. But
I was like halfway through replying to you, and Croatia went to I was like, type, fuck.
Yep, you took everything off and said fuck. But then, yeah, he bought me Pez, and I spent the first night, probably a good 3 hours, trying to get gold ratings on all of the training modules.
Yeah.
I learned a ton, and what I really like about Pez, because I've spent a lot of time both in Madden and MLB The Show, as well as a good amount of time in NBA 2K, the 2K franchise, and some hockey, NHL, EA's other money bag. But one thing that I really appreciate about Pez after my experience with those other games is that, like, there is a ton of shit that you have to know how to do, but the game has a wonderful way of combining all that on just a few buttons. Yeah. So you can have basic rudimentary functions, right? Just passing and shooting and, juking and doing things like that. And it's all just based on, like, X, and then square is shoot, and then you can do some, like, lobby trick shit with triangle, and then double tap. Oh man, I double tap R3 just for fun sometimes, and it fucks me up. But oh man, watching them dribble shit like that, I just love it. And this last month has been great because I've actually had a sport to get into, and it's also been great because I've had teams that I've kind of fallen in love with, as opposed to going in and just blindly following one like I am with football. Yeah. Because
I've definitely it's just, even for me, it's like outside the England stuff, it's just nice to sort of latch onto a team for a match and go, yeah, let's see how they do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been great. I think the first match I watched, because I was just kind of absorbing all of it from that friend of mine at work. I was just kind of absorbing his stats and asking him questions, and he, now knowing what I know now, he didn't give me good answers, but it helped because I asked him, like, well, what's like the big one is like, well, how do you figure out, like, extra time? Like, what is that? And he said, I don't know. The refs just do it. Are you fucking kidding me? They don't. So you're telling me that if the game were really that good? Well, and he kept on talking about how it deals with, like, money and betting, and I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? There's no way that they would get away with something that shady. Like, if it were really anything like that, it would be called, like, the World Gambling or the Gambling Cup or something. But, like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. No, that can't be a thing. And yeah, and I can't fault him because he got me interested in the sport, but man, he gave me some shitty information. Ooh. So yeah, long and short is, I've been playing a lot of PES lately.
Yeah. And France won, so that's.
Oh, I am horned up.
Ew.
Dude, shut your butt. I am so horned up. I just automatically love France anything.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to see them winning, I have to say. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure it's out of embargo now.
I mean, say the name, so and then we can tell you.
Wow. Hang on. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm recovering from a mild allergy thing, so my brain's not working. The Spectrum Retreat. I'm pretty sure that's out of embargo now.
Yeah, because there are reviews for that out. Because that's one of the prediction things from last week. So yes.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through the game now, and so I can't make a conjecture yet on the final bit, and I really don't want to give it a score, but in the first hour and a half that I was playing, it went from holy shit, I have no idea what's going on, I'm lost in a random hotel with creepy bots, to holy shit, this is getting heavy in a hotel with a bunch of creepy bots. And man, it has a lot of wonderful subtleties to it. Little touches, like you have this lady in your ear telling you what's going on, and that you have deja vu, and a lot of things are very similar to a lot of games. And I've seen this is an honest thing. I was talking with Garri about it late last night, and I said, what did I say, Garri? It was something like I was doing a little bit of reading after I started the game. I wasn't really sure what I was looking at the time, so I went and did some reading on the game because I thought it would be something else. I don't know. It looked really cool, but it looked like something else before I started playing it, and so I did some reading. And
we were talking about that. It looked like a VR game.
Yeah, that too. I also for a long time thought it was going to be VR. And coincidentally, I feel like it. I don't know if it would. Anyway, so I did some looking, and I saw a lot of people compare it to Portal, and I started to panic. Because I am fucking awful at puzzles. I have not, for that very reason, is the reason I've not finished Portal, either 1 or 2. And man, I somehow managed to get my way through, what's that shitty blows game? The Witness. And
Shitty blows.
Shitty blows. God, Johnny boy, you pile. So far, like, what's really cool about these puzzles, as I felt like I was just like in craze. I felt like I was coming back. I was actually becoming a competent human being in the first level because I was just kind of flying through them. The principle is very simple. Because you spend a lot of time just like manipulating colors so you can go through barriers and things, and it's being able to know where to put the colors so you can swap properly. It's one of those kind of puzzles, So it's not like Portal, which is good for me because Portal is manipulating a world with different colored portals, and that shit messed with me. But like this is much more accessible IMO, and that first level I felt great, and then the second level it started ramping up, and what's been great, and one of my biggest complaints with The Witness is that it progresses naturally. Like the difficulty goes with you, and like the more you learn as you play, you can apply that to new principles. Where like in The Witness, my problem with it is that it would do that for a little bit, and then it would just shit all over it. And just do a bunch of random shit. Yeah. And you can talk about how it had like implementations in the world or whatever, and like sure those things were there, but there were far too many instances where it just was completely out in left field. Way out in left field. No bindings to it, and then it would just go back to the original pattern, and it made no sense. What Spectrum Retreat is doing really well is building up your ability to do more complicated things, and I really appreciate that in a puzzler. So far, it's been a very interesting game for me. It's been me going from a mild panic to maybe I can do this, and I feel like I need that in a puzzling sense because that's my gaming kryptonite.
That's it. There's always, even in your weakest genre, there's always something that can fit to what you like. I think which is good. Just the great thing about the variety of choice. It's nice to hear that there's something that at least gels with you on some level. Yeah, that's been my jam. Thanks for listening, everybody. Not a problem. And everyone at home, I'm sure, agrees.
It's what I do, man. It's what I do.
You don't listen. I love you, Garri.
So, Garri, you as you piped up in time, you can go next. What have you been doing this week?
I don't want to.
Well, you're doing it, all right?
Talk about the game I've been interested in, and you tell me I'd be bored with, jerk. Tell me more about that game.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm still playing Shining Resonance Refrain. I enjoy it. It's not the greatest RPG out there, but it works. Has good combat, fun characters, though the dating aspect of it, not so much. Yeah, it's a good JRPG. Good to return to the Shining franchise in general for me, because I've always enjoyed that franchise back in the day. So it's nice to see it's coming back.
Yeah.
The other game I played is Earthfall. And I got to play that. Yeah, it's a fun game. I got to play it with Tim and Chris. We played a lot of it yesterday. Easy to connect to matches. Great bot AI.
Oh, you are such a piece of... You are seriously the stupidest. No one ever listened to Garri. Ever. All of those things were blasphemous bullshit that he just said. Everything.
How much is the game? Let me go check. PlayStation.
Too much. I promise you it's too much.
It's not even on sale.
If you ever wanted to play Left 4 Dead with aliens, that's your game.
It's a better series than Left 4 Dead.
No, it's not the best. It's very simple of what you have to do. You just go, you kill aliens. It's exactly Left 4 Dead, all the way up to the type of enemies that you fight. It's exactly the same.
So what you're saying is it's pretty much what Evolve wanted to make with Evolve.
Well, Evolve was different. Evolve was one player controls a boss and everybody else tries to kill him. That's not what this is. Yeah, this is your 4 people teaming up to get to the objective, whatever that objective is, and you fight hordes and hordes of aliens. The biggest problem I found, which is not a problem that maybe Tim and Chris had, well, they did because they played it with me, but for me...
Oh my god, Garri! That's the funniest stupid shit.
Well, they had problems that I didn't see personally. So,
like with ladders, dude, that was a shit problem. Shut up.
For them, it's too hard to slightly move the analog stick up to climb up a ladder for them. So they got kicked out.
Chris, do you want to take this one?
Destroyed the game where we had to climb like 3 ladders in the entire game that we played. God forbid, optional ladders. I might add most of them.
Oh my god! No, Garri. So here's what happened. Let me lay out the situation for you. We're in the middle of a storage park. No. Gary's giving you all alternative facts. I'm going to give you the actual truth. Garri has said, "Okay, I'm in. So you can grab barricades and basically put up these doors that keep the enemies out, and then you can shoot through them. So it's basically you can bar yourself in somewhere and hold down the fort, as it were." The first time we try this, Garri sets up the barricades, and it's in the room where he has the flamethrower. For 20 minutes, this guy's running around looking for, I don't have a gun, I need a gun. Garri, grab the flamethrower. I need a gun. What's going to happen if I run out of ammo? I can't handle it. And we just told him, go get the fucking flamethrower. So he finally does. And then he says, okay, start it. I run over and I pull the switch to start the thing, which basically, a swarm comes and you have to hold out. And I turn around and try to climb up this ladder. Now, the problem was I run towards it and I don't grab on, so I, run a little to the right of it. Like, what the fuck? I strafe back left, try to climb the ladder again. Nope, strafe left over it. Like, what the fuck? He's not grabbing the ladder. What is going on? Finally, I end up jumping to see if he'll grab the ladder. And meanwhile, the aliens are coming. They're shooting over there. Tim and the AI are on the roof trying to get over to Garri. I jumped up onto the ladder, got a hold of it, and climbed up over the roof. And by that time, Garri had already pushed out and died, and then we all died.
I pushed out?
And basically what happened... So then what happened, and he starts yelling, I'm like, no, there's something wrong with the ladder. I could not grab the ladder. And no, then... Tim has the same problem. We come across more ladders. Finally, we discover that in order for you to climb the ladder, you have to walk straight towards it, look up, and then press forward on the left joystick. What the fuck kind of mechanic is that? If I'm running for my life to a ladder, I should be able to instantly start climbing it no matter what the fuck is going on. Left 4 Dead did not fucking do that. If you were by a ladder and you ran towards it, they would grab it and start climbing up. Why the fuck do I have to look up at and face it perfectly straight on when I'm trying to run for my life. That is absolutely unforgivable, in my opinion.
Okay,
so there you go. Laid some facts
true
on
version
you.
of what happened. I have a pistol. That's all I have because I just fought off like 6 waves of enemies while these guys were reviving each other.
Wow. 6 waves by yourself.
And I had no ammo, so I was looking for a weapon that the AI constantly takes from you. They take all the weapons all the time.
Yes, that is true.
What a dick.
They shoot their gun for like 3 bullets and they're like, oh shit, I need a new weapon because this gun has low ammo. So this asshole's running around picking up all the guns, and I got no weapon except my pistol. Tim doesn't care. He just plays the game with a pistol. So I'm like, Tim, give me your gun. And he's like, no, I need it. I was like, fine.
It's the one thing that doesn't run out of ammo. I'm not fucking that thing off.
Then give me your main weapon, which you didn't do.
Drop your main weapon?
I have no idea. You could.
We tried to figure out, but it didn't work.
Get mad
at this point. At this point, Gary was already mad because he didn't have a main gun, even though there was a flamethrower right there for you.
Which isn't a main weapon. It's a 2-handed weapon. I can't move with that thing.
That doesn't matter. Play support and burn shit. What are you doing? Running around for 20 minutes. I don't have a gun. I need a gun.
Did you use the flamethrower? That thing runs out of ammo in like 12 seconds.
Max. Who cares? Find the biggest fucking thing you can and shoot it!
Anyways, going back to the truth. So, we set up these barricades in the storage unit, and I eventually give up trying to find a weapon. So I go to the storage unit, I grab the flamethrower, and I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm the only one in there. Tim is running around on the rooftops with the AI who's rubber banded to him, because that's what they do. They follow the guy who's hosting the game. That is the only person they follow. So I see him running on the roof, and then all of a sudden I hear the big roar of the big tank monster that's coming. He's got a big-ass cannon. And here I am. All the enemies are coming towards me, and I'm the only one there. And then eventually Tim shows up, opens the gate, gets in, and then Jonas, the dumbass AI, stands in front of the gate, keeping it open the whole time. So all the aliens are running through now. And then the big dude just runs and destroys the barricade and one-shots me and Jonas. And all I hear is, how do I climb up this ladder? I'm like, why don't you just go around it? Just go around the goddamn unit. No, you got to go through it. So while we're dying,
for the record, Gary,
because apparently when Chris climbs ladders, he looks to the left or the right instead of up in real life.
When I use a ladder, I look down at my feet.
Oh my god!
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Why do you have to fucking look up at it?
Or say I look straight forward and a little bit down.
And for the record, Gary, I was in the room by the time the beast broke the barricade, okay? So don't even give me that shit.
I was already dead with Jonas, and then instead of reviving me, you ran off?
I was in the room. You were already dead. I was trying to fight. I didn't survive. We lost that round. We had to do it over again, which we did.
We won.
No,
we won because Tim was the only one alive who killed him.
Not that round. We didn't win that round, and we won the next round after that because we all died.
We totally won that round.
We didn't win that round. We didn't win that round. We started over, and we had to go back, and this time we had a plan, which I came up with, which is to use that room as a diversion if you need a break, while the rest of us use the rooftops to snipe the enemies on.
Because by that time you figured out how to climb after getting everybody else killed. Was that the second? Was the second time the one where you just ran off on your own to get a stem pack and got gang raped, and I had to come help you?
No, that was the second time. Yeah, it was.
Okay. Damn. You're so good at this game, Chris.
That was later on. I know I'm so good at this game. We saw the stats. You did exceedingly well in shooting a lot of bullets and hitting a lot of enemies. Tim was very, very talented at headshots and playing the medic, and I was really good at taking down all of the larger foes, like the Beast and the Whiplash and the Thresher. So thank you very much, Gary. The numbers proved it all.
Yeah, you were so good, you decided to blow open a grate while everybody was standing next to it with explosive barrels.
You give him shit?
No,
you give him shit, but I was the one that shot at it. I said that last night, but you kept blaming Chris. That's targeting.
It was so basically what happened is we had to go down this sewer grate.
Yeah,
like,
Target
where is
Chris,
it?
seems.
There's this. But there's a sewer grate and it's flashing, and I'm just like, oh, what do I have to do? Shoot it? I thought the big orange barrels that were sitting on it were those construction barrels, the big orange traffic, because we were in a construction area on the street, and like, okay, I got to go down the grate, so I shot it, and it fucking blew up and killed everyone. But Tim shot too. He thought the same thing.
But who shot first? Was it Greedo? Oh,
Who shot?
Dude, it was Han. It was Han. Han shot first.
Han totally shot first.
And I'm the bad guy because I know how to climb ladders, and they don't.
Oh my! What game does that though? What game forces you to look up and walk towards a ladder to fucking climb it?
You know why
the only games that do that are games that have.
You want to know
prompts.
why they did that? Every time you played Left 4 Dead, and I know this happened to you because I remember it happening to you when you were shooting while backing up, and as you're backing up, you ran into a ladder and you start going up and then down and then up and then down on the ladder because the goddamn controls were messed up and you died. That's why they did that, so you wouldn't have that problem.
Okay, well, you can refine it instead of making it just have to look towards. Like, put it in your field of vision. If the ladder's in your field of vision and you move toward it, why can't I just climb it? I don't have to back into it. You can keep it realistic, but fuck, man. I shouldn't have to struggle to do basic things in a game, and it's not my fucking
Chris,
fault.
We saw what happened with Aliens Colonial Marines with a typo. So now you know that it's not that easy. Anyways, 9 out of 10.
Did you just
Fun
justify
game.
Aliens Colonial Marines?
I just can't. Thank you, Tim. I'm dumbfounded. Like, really?
It's like going, it's bad, but is it Aliens Colonial Marines?
It's fucking 10 out of 10 for Gary. That's what it is.
No, it's not the greatest game, obviously, but I don't think it's the worst
But
game.
is it as good as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2?
It's not the worst game.
I'd also like to bring up one thing in that game that Aliens Colonial Marines did mess up. Like that one letter typo where the alien would be tethered to you, which is the code, like the word tether they tried to do. That is what Jonas was doing to me, the host of the game. No matter what, no matter where I
fantastic.
was,
he was
followed
just
me. He followed me. So like there'd be times I'd walk in the room and I'd walk into a room where we have those gates, and it's a proximity thing. So like if we're close to it, it's like like a grocery store door. It'll open because it's a proximity thing. And I was away, but he was close enough to the door to trigger it open. So aliens would just file in.
And
we just
and not only that, but whenever you couldn't carry a Gatling gun. Gary and I had to carry the replaceable Gatling guns because he would go into a corner to put it down, and he'd turn around, and Jonas would be right fucking there. Hi, Tim. Do you need help, Tim?
We were in the only decent level, the only interior level, and it was the third one. And I grabbed this Gatling gun to set it because it's an automatic one. We don't have to worry about it. It's a really nice thing. It's like one of the few nice things in the game. And I go to the corner because there's a bottleneck area because we're in an office. The door is right there. I was going to put it in front of I was going to put the Gatling gun in front of that because aliens would be coming along the side of the office room and then up the stairs. It'd be meet in a 9-degree angle right in front of that Gatling gun. So I grabbed it and I walked to the corner, turned around. I butted up to the corner, turned around, and I angled it right at my feet. And wouldn't you know it, that Jonas, the most useless piece of shit, came and stood right on the point where I wanted it. And I tried to remember the words I used last night. I think I said, "Oh my God, look at this twat! Look at Oh my God, I went on a while.
So what you're saying is, you could say that with Tim and Jonas, you're the Jonas brothers.
Oh, and Chris, don't forget to add Chris to it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Why am I a Jonas brother?
So awful.
Because you don't know how to climb ladders.
My God.
And for the record, with this game, you can adjust the AI of your allies from like bumbling dumbass to what they call masterful. And we had him at masterful, and that's the kind of shit that he did.
Did you ever put him down to bumbling dumbass just to see what happens?
That's how we started, and they basically just beat off in the corner.
I would make AI that trips over his own shoes.
Like, the funniest thing that happened is, I remember playing my first game before I played with Garri. I ended up dying, because then the other 3 people were AI. And the moment I died, all 3 of them bundled up and then ran away. And got themselves caught in a corner and then died. They had no idea what to do once I died, so they just bundled up and hid.
The tether is gone, man. It's a hive mind.
Oh god, that game is so awful.
No, but the thing I wanted to mention before all this tangent went on.
There's more, Christ.
Dude, this game is bad.
Was how random everything was. Like, there was no point in time where you would know, okay, we're gonna fight, the big tank monster coming up. Like, it just randomly happened, and it was so bad where we'd kill one, and then literally right after we killed one, another one would show up. And we have no ammo because we just wasted it on this one big piece of shit. And like Tim mentioned yesterday, a lot of the, like, special enemies, like, there would be no warning for them, and they would just randomly appear and grab you. Like, it happened to me, where, what is it called, the whiplash?
The whiplash is the one that picks you up by the head and tentacle rapes your face.
Yeah, so if you played Left 4 Dead, they're pretty much the smokers, where they have the tongue, they grab you, and they start pulling you in. Yeah. But these guys, like, I'm running down the tunnel, and then out of nowhere, I just get grabbed. And he takes me into the corner, and he's just, like, raping me in the corner. Like, that's what
oh my god, it wasn't just the corner. He pulled you so there's a section in this computer lab where you have to go down into it, climb a ladder to go down into the tunnel to get up to the servers on the other side. We were at the servers. This guy, not once, not twice, but 3 times, grabbed Garri, pulled him down into that little tunnel, and started raping him in the corner. And then he did it to me later on, too. We kept on, the same corner. We kept on having whiplashes pull us and drag us away from each other. And Garri was getting so frustrated. They just loved him. They just kept giving it to him. And there was nothing
I would also like to make mention that there were 2 ladders in that direct vicinity. So there weren't just 3 in the game. We had to navigate those same 2 ladders at least 8 times to save
over
you,
and over again. Yes.
Sure.
Do you understand what this did to us?
Not to you, to us.
Forgot the 2-degree angle you had to aim up to climb a ladder was too hard.
I think I'm hearing the effects, that's for sure. Definitely hearing the result of such trauma.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, a lot of time on what is, according to the reviews, a 5 out of 10 game at best, by the way. So
that is definitely it.
Apart from some very suspect user reviews that basically harp on about Left 4 Dead a bit too much, which is worrying. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one's not going to be a critical darling in the long run. Anything else, Garri, that didn't make you want to melt your brain?
No, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Did you not get to play Sonic Mania Plus?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, I thought you were the other person that had it. Okay.
That's what I thought.
No, okay.
I'll talk to you about it later.
Just me then.
I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. So, it's fine. We can talk about it because reviews are already out there. It's fine.
No, I'll tell you why I'm not playing.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's totally cool. Ben? Is that your answer? It's like, I can't be bothered to tell you what I played anymore. I'm just going to make a single tap to know everything I played.
Tap once for Final Fantasy 14.
No, I played Warframe this week.
Yeah.
I got the new Umbra Excalibur, which was pretty cool. I did the sacrifice, which I streamed all of it, by the way, the sacrifice quest line. I've got a get review I'm working on called Next Up Hero, where the game is rubbish and don't buy it. Well, I guess some people like it, but it feels, I don't know, if you like Dark Souls, then this is weirdly like that. But with cartoony graphics and more frustrating.
Did you write the reviews for Earthfall? Oh, they're on Metacritic. Just like, if you like Left 4 Dead, that game's dead. Play this one instead. It's shit compared to that one, but play it anyway.
I'm suddenly reminded of that. Is this Dark Souls meme?
Yeah.
Basically, you die really fast in the game, and there's no healing items. So, yeah.
Such is life.
Defiance 2050, I've been playing that as well with my mate. Occasionally, not as much because I got pissed off that they wouldn't sell the Founders Pack in Europe. They wouldn't let me give them money, so I don't want to play it. I know that sounds stupid, but if you release the Founders Pack on every console in every region, except for PlayStation 4 Europe, it doesn't sound like you're going to support it well in that region.
Fucking Theresa May's fault.
Yeah. So, yeah, and a bit of Overwatch.
Yeah, I can concur with that.
Yeah.
Definitely a bit of Overwatch.
Apart from that, of course, the usual game.
The usual game.
Yeah. But that's what I've been playing.
The huge.
The huge. Well done. That's a good little bit of variety.
Yes.
More
than one this week.
Yeah, more than two. That's very good. Oh, I suppose I'll go next. I don't really want to go last all the time. It's just not fair. And Chris is bound to have some corking things to say after that screaming tirade.
That's all I have is screaming tirades. That's it.
And he's spent.
And I'm spent.
You need to come down and just start listening to your teammates, man.
God, it's going to start again.
God, Neil, go, please.
So, yeah, bunch of things. I bought Far Cry 5 Gold Edition. So I couldn't play Far Cry 5. I bought it so I could play Far Cry 3, because after last week, when we were talking about that, Ben mentioned that it doesn't have the co-op, of course, in the Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, which, was straight away, okay, that's the shit bit out of the way, and then I quite fancy trying it out again. Certain other games have definitely rendered parts of this game a bit ancient. Metal Gear Solid 5 Stealth, for instance, just makes Far Cry 3's, it's like probably that bumbling AI you were talking about earlier. It's pretty much that. If that designed the stealth, that would be Far Cry 3 stealth system by comparison. All the weird lunacy of that story definitely just with age definitely gets a lot stupider. It's like Bass is still very entertaining as a villain, but I don't know, the characters, the goodies, if you will, are all just very, very badly written, very, very badly written, and there's still no explanation for anything of what the protagonist does and how he does it, because it's like, oh yes, I'm the brother of the guy who's actually military trained. He'll die in the first 2 minutes. Me, I'll go on to become a fucking warlord, and that's it. That's the story. Great. I mean, it works, and it still has its moments. It scared the shit out of me when trying to run away from a fight, and I walked straight across the river and got devoured by a crocodile. I forgot that could happen, which was definitely fun. Yeah, it's nice. I just want to get through it, really, because I want to sort of catch up with Far Cry 5 and all that. Another one of those things where I bought it on Amazon, and then it went down in price the day after it arrived, which happened with Overwatch as well recently, where it went on sale literally 24 hours after I bought it. But ho-hum. Still, good value, as they say. Overwatch, as Ben said. Because I wasn't really into it, back in the day, I've gone back and watched all the animated shorts and stuff just to go through it. I even watched last year's Overwatch World Cup final, which was actually quite entertaining to watch. As an e-sport, it works, I think. I sat with my son, he was wanting to see it, and he's really into the idea of the characters of it and all that. And, I hate that they have to give Activision money for it in a way, but, it's good. Probably because Activision don't get the final say in everything. That's probably why it's a decent game. Hashtag. Hash to the fucking tag.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Pez is Pez. that's it's like
It's more than that.
it's more than yeah. For you've just started. Me, I've been playing it since 2001 now. So it's like at this point, it's like osmosis. Really, that's all it is. But yeah, I don't remember. I couldn't even tell you what I did in PES this week. I think that's the extent of it. Just probably the online mode, just getting as much as I can out of the last few weeks before the new one comes out, and I have to start all over again with that. And yeah, it'd be good fun. Good fun. Sonic Mania Plus. I'm playing, but that the encore mode of that, which is cool. Nice little changes and tweaks to the gameplay as well, and nice new areas. And yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. It definitely feels like the complete package version of that game, which had its small issues. So to see it working like this is really nice. And what else do we have? Other games I couldn't really talk about because they're Nintendo games. But Breath of the Wild. Hashtag, God, such a good game. Such a good game. It's unbelievable how good that game is. The fact that I can go away from it for ages, come back again, pick it up, and just get consumed in it for so long. It's fantastic. Other than that, Danger Zone 2, which is Freefield's Burnout Crash Mode, the game 2. Much more like that this time around, in that you're actually out on motorways and stuff, lining up your crash targets and that. It just feels a bit unpolished. There's none of the style and pizzazz of a Burnout Crash Mode, where there's nothing really popping out at you. It's very, very in order, and it's a little too twitchy. When you get to control the F1 car, nothing has fucked me off more in recent weeks with games than that. Just because the slightest touch on something, and it's like you can slam against a barrier and be fine. But if you flip a wheel of a car with your wheel, you have smashed it to pieces, and you've got to start again. And it just, those sections didn't enjoy. Everything else, fun. Yeah, good.
What game is this?
Danger Zone 2.
Ah.
Yeah, which is, like I said, Burnout Crash Mode again, but
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. Yeah, it's a continuation of what they did in the first game, except it's that little bit better, but also not enough better. And knowing that they got this dangerous driving game, which is going to be their actual Burnout game on the way, just makes this feel like you could have probably lumped this in with that and made a better thing. But I understand as a company, they're lucky to still be going, because they were with the first Danger Zone, they were on the brink of bankruptcy. So it's obviously done well enough that they could continue, do this, do that, and do the next game. So yeah, I'm hopeful that they'll get to do what they want to do and make that dangerous driving game the absolute old school Burnout game that everyone wants to see. But we'll see. We'll see. That is the hope at this point. Yeah, that's it for me. I really don't have anything else. So it's another week of just watching films and television and playing the odd game when I get the chance. So, Chris.
Man, I know you were expecting something profound here, but I just got nothing. Aside from our little Earthfall adventures, I've just been trophy hunting in Fallout 5. Jesus.
Whoa.
Far Cry 5. Excuse
Broken.
me.
Okay, early release right there. Well, they announced Fallout 76, so they're having to stealth release 5 to 75 in the next few months. Episodic Fallout games.
So how long until we get to Doom Eternal then? No, that's pretty much all I've been doing. I got the Hope County Master Angler. I really enjoyed the fishing in Far Cry 5. It was very nice and relaxing just to sit back next to a lake and just angle some fish for a little bit, then sell it for some money. That was
if only it was as good
nice.
as
Real life fishing. Man.
No, shit takes ages, man. It's like just grab the damn worm and bit.
But it's not about fishing like that. Isn't about just getting the fish. It's a relaxing. You go out. you wait out there in your waders, and you've got your fly, and you whip that sucker around, and the fish comes up to it and kind of smells it, but you just there's this anticipation, there's this relaxing waiting game to it where you can just kind of chill and just think about the world and
then watch the fish suffocate to death. Yeah, it's great.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're catch and release, then no, but if you're planning on eating it, then you just hit the sucker overhead with a 2x4.
To be honest, Chris,
Wow.
I think it's been a while, so Gary doesn't really understand catch and release at this point.
So I can release it with a big hole in its mouth? Come on.
That's what catch and release is, Gary.
Why don't I catch you and then release you? See how you like it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna pull it out my van soon.
You'll keep me in your fucking cages you've got in your basement, you fucking.
Oh my god.
Oh my word.
Well, we put ladders around it so you can't escape.
Wow.
And you said you had nothing, Chris.
Oh, ladders around it. I'm gonna.
It's not like the opposite of what you do with the Sims.
I just can't. There's so much horrible shit that I envision doing to Gary on a daily basis, and it's all just like brutal stuff.
I'm gonna be Chris's first victim when he goes serial killer.
Dude, when I snap, you're gonna be like, you're gonna be the first victim, but you're not gonna be the first one to die.
Oh
Let's
my
just
god.
put it that way. Like you're gonna.
So
I'm gonna
practice on everybody else.
I'm gonna psychologically break you and make you watch while I practice on everybody else, and eventually I'm just gonna give you a full frontal lobotomy, and you'll be my little Igor.
Oh my god.
So,
my furry little
lobotomy's
Igor.
one thing, but
You're
said
so sexist and racist.
frontal lobotomy?
I'm so sexist and racist. Where what did I say that was sexist and racist? That I was gonna have you be my first victim? Like,
Don't worry about it.
I don't.
We'll discuss it.
We'll discuss. Okay, so you're gonna have separate meetings with Neil and I. Okay, I get it. That's cool.
I really don't want to know what the correlation between Sonic the Hedgehog and this is. Really, that we have to.
We're gonna find it. I'm gonna learn you good about it.
Oh, I know. It's called Sonic 06.
Yes.
That is torture, and we did have to watch things happen while we were getting the full lobotomy. aka playing that game.
But people willingly went through that torture, which also ties in. So, yeah. Yeah.
Sonic 06, it brings tortures together.
Nothing like a couple of good torture buddies.
So, that's all the games we played this week. Well done, us. We played some games and talked about them for some time. Predictions League is next, though. That is the last thing we'll do before we wrap the show up. We had one outstanding game from the week before. Well, I say outstanding. It's so outstanding there's still only one review for it, which is 20XX. We will count that as a score, though, because I just don't want the backlog of weeks and weeks and weeks at this point. So 20XX got 70.
PC code. The PC review.
Is there a PC review for that? All right, okay, hang on. Let me see. Fucking hell, Jesus nature.
Wait, if it's 70 and I win, just go with that.
Oh my god.
You know why you're in your current state, Gary? Because you're always trying to take the easy way out. Always.
Like France tried to do on their first goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, France is easy.
Oh my god.
That's just disgusting. Anyway, yeah, so 70 is the only 7 out of 10 was the only review for 20XX so far by PlayStation Country. Name appropriate. I went 79. I was wrong. Tim went 77. He was close-ish, but not quite. Mark was on for that one, and he said 59. He was wrong. Gary said 82. Hella wrong. Ben was closest. 4 points out with 66.
Yay!
He gets a point. Then it was Shining Resonance Refrain itself, which was when me, Ben, Gary, and Chris were the only people on the show last week. And So it's on 71. Gary, you said 73. Chris said 77. Ben says 64. And this motherfucker said 70. So I was there with the win. Then there was the Spectrum Retreat, which is on 70. And Chris said 49. You sour Sally.
I shot low. I shot really low.
Ben said 57. And Gary said 76. But again, this motherfucker said 71. So yeah, I got 70 for the 71 and a 71 for the 70. So there you go. 2 points. Back on my bullshit. Big time. So updated scoreboard is Chris 1 point, Alfonso 2 points, Neil and Gary on 4.5, Tim on 7, Ben on 9.
Yes.
And extended his lead for this one. Right, 2 more games. I'm going to be honest. I know as much about most of them as you do, so that's the way it is. But 2 all the same. Tempest 4000 is one of them, which is a remake of the classic Tempest game. So I will go first.
4,000?
Yeah, because you missed the last one. So
we haven't played 2 through 3,999, so that's
there,
why we're a little dumbfounded. We
I'm
didn't
sure
know
there
they
was
were
a Tempest 2000, or am I just imagining it?
that Shakespeare's a right hack. To be honest.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's a good reference.
I will score first on this one, as I won some stuff just now, and I will say 74. Tim.
Oh boy. I think I'm going to give this a. I think I'll give it a 72.
7-2. Chris.
Let's go with 70.
Benjamin.
82.
82. You could let me finish your name. Come on. Gary.
69.
Dude.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Tim, last week you won. You got dead on with
69.
Red Faction Gorilla Remastered. 69.
Did I really? So that's
Yeah.
how I got to 7.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a dead on score.
Just remember, kids. 69 wins.
We'll get you far.
Yes. You have to know how to do it, though. You got to do it right. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything for you or them.
Yeah.
Remember that, Gary.
Does it involve ladders?
It does.
Only
getting up.
only if it's with little people.
You got to climb the ladder, as they say.
But is this ladder Gary's favourite Mass Effect?
Earthfall was, apparently.
Right, so Gary, we'll keep with you and go in reverse order for the Moose Man. Moose Man.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
I'll allow you to Google if you wish.
Please, I need to at least look at a picture or something.
Well, go on then.
You can't use your imagination?
What I was really hoping
I imagine
is that
you every
Chris
time I
just
think
had...
of anything animal-like.
I know this sounds racist, but when you say Moose Man, all I can picture is like the Canadian version of Superman.
Alright, so technically this has one review code, but it's by a no-name site and no other reviews are out. But
That's mean. Push Square is their names.
Oh my god.
It's a horror game with ancient gods and etc.
I'm gonna go 73.
73. I like the developer's name is Vladimir Beletsky. That's a great name.
85.
85.
God damn it.
Is that your final score?
It's a Russian game. Look, the other guy is Mikhail Shevchenko.
So Gary says 85.
Ben, yeah, well, you know what? I don't care. Let's go 85, yeah.
Ben?
100.
The world just died.
And we're back to normal. Chris?
73.
Yeah, I think you got a chance at this point.
You just took my number, you stupid bitch.
You changed it. It's 85. It's up for fair grabs. I take it if I want.
You're gonna take it, all right, even if you don't want it.
Oh,
Oh my God, Gary!
yes.
This is why you're going to jail.
I was going to say, Tim,
I'm liking 61.
you're liking the 61.
Yeah.
And like a fine wine, I like 70.
What?
I don't know, maybe it's fine wine. Fuck it. I don't
Like
know.
70 proof, or
Yeah, obviously.
that's some smooth butter.
No, that's his ideal age. In case you didn't know, Neil has a thing for the Cougars.
Oh, that's about half.
So,
Right.
so like John Cougar Mellencamp then?
Oh yeah, he loves some JCM.
At 70, I don't even call Cougars anymore. I thought Cougar was like 40 to 60.
Depends on-
Sorry, I was unfamiliar about the age restrictions. What
So-
are
so
they?
Ben,
What
yeah.
age do you prefer, Ben?
It's apparently you're the connoisseur.
What a twist.
Oh my God.
I hate everything.
Right, so
I'm going to Google that.
dude, you can fill us in with that tasty tidbit at the end, which is now, probably now.
Thank Jesus. I kid.
So yes, thank you for listening. Follow us at Pod Unchained, share us, subscribe, etc. Like all those things. Review us, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. It's all nice to see, and we can have a good old chinwag about it if you do be nasty about us. So you know, what's to lose? What is to lose in this modern era of horrible internet? You know, if we wouldn't be doing this, come on.
Womp.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Tim, if you'd like to further degrade your own integrity, what would you do?
I would hang out with Gary. I would.
Wow!
Oh, that was a softball.
Coincidentally, that mostly is because it's Utah, and he's not moving, so I'd have to move to Utah, and that would definitely degrade my moral fiber. And I say that purely from a political stance because that state is deep red. I don't know anything about the state, except for what Gary tells me. Apparently there are a lot of Mormons.
Proper Profondo Rosso, that's that one. Yeah. But yes.
Fun.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah. Do your shout outs.
Outro? I'd like to shout out Gary for dealing with my shit every day. I'd like to shout out to Chris for being the best bottom. I'd like to shout out to Neil for being just a right sex appeal. Ben for just being the fucking greatest.
Aww.
And Fonzie for constantly ditching us on podcasts. Thanks for that.
You've got to get you on the allergy medicine more often.
Dude, actually, I have a history of funny behavioral reactions with Benadryl.
Yeah, it's called being high.
Like people say they get drowsy. I guess I get
High.
I get the other thing.
Sassy.
Truthy.
Truthy. I get truthy. Sweet, sassy molassy.
It's Tim has excellent sass. In case any of you didn't know, when he's on one, his sass is spot on. It's like hot fire.
He's a sass man.
Just burns my ass. I love it.
Well, he was a sass man.
The Sass Man.
He is a sass man.
That's quickly
From the state of
ass man.
Tennessee.
Sass man.
I was
Sass man!
I was singing it to the tune of Ass Man by the theme tune for Billy Gunn. But yeah.
I was singing it to the
Yes.
Tenacious D song, Sax Man.
I was
You don't
listening
say
to
go.
that song
Tenacious
the
D,
Simpsons
they're
did
trash.
one about the Sax Man.
What about that sax man from the Lost Boys?
The Lonely Island?
Yeah, the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, that was with Jack Black.
Sassafras. Anyway, after all that, Ben.
I'd like to shout out to Phoenix Down Radio at twitch.tv, Phoenix Down, shout out to Master Radio, twitch.tv/Master Radio. They recently did a charity event. You could go check out the previous. They raised $605, I think it was in the end. Shout out to She Heals I Tank, twitch.tv, She Heals I Tank. Shout out to Evolve Mail, aka Girlfriend's favourite streamer at twitch.tv/Evolve Mail. And a shout out to everyone that's here.
Yeah, I want to meet this Evolved Mail.
aka Girlfriend's favourite streamer, twitch.tv/Evolve Mail.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot the rest of his name. I didn't mean to.
I've been wearing his hat out and about recently because it's been sunny.
With that being his name, that must be a really big hat.
Smaller than you'd think, actually.
That's what she said.
And, you know, if you want more highbrow stuff to talk about, you should go to Chris.
There is no brow low enough or high enough that I will not touch. Thanks to friends, family, followers, you lovely people, Gary for always being there for me and being the best bud that a guy could ask for. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to follow or hear any of my... Actually, I don't offer that much opinionated service. I just retweet stuff. So if you'd like to see what I'm retweeting, you can follow me on Twitter at Devangel. That's Devangil.
There you go. And of
the
course,
end of Tails.
Sonic.
I love Tails.
I like the Knuckles.
I like
Somehow
Knuckles
that doesn't
and
surprise
Tails.
me.
I'll take them both at the same time.
Anyway, Gary.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the best shout out of all of us.
Ice cool.
No, you guys,
Right,
of course.
all right over there, Razor Ramon.
You guys for always having me on. Tim and Chris for tailing my shit all the time, which is great fun.
Are you just like incontinent or something that you have to keep taking each other's shit?
What?
We have very low standards.
But see, we have very healthy colons because we take each other's shit
I thought it was
and replace our own and give our shit away. We're actually very, very well guarded against many parasites.
I thought it was like some sort of cooperative care home.
You haven't lived until you've tried Soviet. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a co-op.
It's a co-op.
Now you're talking about the brand or some video games?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
In fairness, both are a shit show.
Jesus. Anyways. You can reach me on Twitter at Gagaush, that's Gaglaush.
Splendido. We'll be back next week with more of this inane bullshit. Until then, tatty bye.